I don't think it was fully dry when I went to sleep last night. I think that's my problem. It could be worse. Hi, welcome back. Or nice to meet you. My name's Jessie. I've done a couple of these videos where I like combine like a self-care kind of thing with my reading wrap up for the month, because honestly I think it's more interesting to combine it than just do like a regular boring reading wrap up. At least they're kind of boring when I do them, so don't know what that says about me. But anyway, yeah. Today I'm gonna do a curly hair routine while I talk to you about the books I read in March. Full transparency, I tried to read a book in March that put me into a slump, so I only read like 3 books this month, and 2 of them were for school because I'm an English major. So this will probably be a quick video. So my hair is like disgustingly greasy right now because I put oil in it. I'm trying to like follow kind of the Abby Young method that I see on TikTok, but I also like don't care that much. Just generally I wash my hair once a week. I'm trying to do twice a week, but now I'm so used to doing it once a week that I don't know. Today I'm gonna wash my hair with this. It's like clarifying shampoo, and then I'm gonna do the Bounce Curl Detox, and then I'm gonna do the Pattern Medium Conditioner, and then I'm gonna do L'Oreal Glossing 5-minute mask, which seems like a lot, but again I only do this once a week, so that's fine. But yeah, I'm gonna wash my hair and then I'll come back afterwards, do my like styling routine, and then that's what I'm gonna talk about, the books I read this month. Okay, my hair's washed. We have a Dr. Pepper to help us get through this. I use mostly Pattern products for my styling. I feel like if you use one brand, they like mix better. I don't know, I probably made that up, but yeah, they had a sale like a couple weeks where everything was 20% off, so I got the jumbos. I just have on a random t-shirt. I think this one's Steamboat Willie because it's gonna get soaking wet. Yeah, I'm gonna explain what I'm doing with my hair while I'm actually styling. I can talk about my books. First off, I'm gonna use the leave-in conditioner, and I just put this in my hair while it's like not sectioned. And then OGX coconut milk anti-breakage serum. It's like oily. I'm gonna put it on top of this, also not sectioned, and then I'm gonna take my crown section and clip that away, and then I style like the whole underneath first. And I put mousse in it first, and then I brush style with my Bounce Curl brush, and then the curl gel, I scrunch that in on top of the mousse, and then I unclip my top section and I brush it all forward. Sometimes I do a zigzag part. I don't know what I'm gonna do today, but then I style it back with this. I feel like I explained what I do really badly. So yeah, now we can talk about books. So as always, I'm gonna start with the books I read for school because they're boring and I want to get them out of the way. I'm counting this as one book. It's kind of not. I read 3 of 5 of Plato's dialogues for my ancient Greek literature class. We read Apology, Credo, and Phaedo, I think they are. And they're basically like an account of Socrates' trial, which is kind of interesting because the account is not like fully accurate. Plato was not there for some of the events he writes about, and also just like the ancients weren't as much of like sticklers on historical accuracy. The Apology is about the actual trial, where Socrates like gives his defense speech. Credo is about like Socrates' friends going to his cell and talking with him and like trying to convince him to like escape. He's kind of accepted his sentence and being put to death because like Socrates was not young when he got his death sentence. Like he was like, I want to say at least 70, so like he's kind of like, guys, it's really fine. And then Phaedo takes place during Socrates' final hours, and it also talks about like his actual death in the jail cell in Athens. I mean, it kind of does that. Like Plato, he was not actually there for the last hours. He doesn't know what Socrates actually said, and he like doesn't even really make Socrates in his dialogues say things that actual Socrates would agree with. So I think Apology was my favorite. I honestly thought it was kind of funny because like Socrates tells a story about how he like set off to find someone who has more wisdom than he does, and he ends up not being able to find someone, but then he'll like tell the people that they're not wiser than him. So the whole story is kind of like, yeah, I was talking to these people and I told them that they're dumber than me, and now no one in this town really likes me, and that's why they all want me to die. Yeah, he also tells the jury things like he should be celebrated instead of being put to death, and that he's owed free meals for all of his awesome work instead of the death sentence. I shake the curl, and then with this side I kind of help it form a little bit. This side of my head is less curly than this side, so I help this side out a little bit. Anyway, yeah, the second book I read for school was called Heyyy by Kiese Lehman, I think is how you pronounce his name. That one's a memoir, and it talks about Lehman's life, obviously. Talks about his struggles growing up as like a fat black kid, and how that kind of led to the eating disorder that he had for most of his life after that. But it also talks about his relationship with his mom and his relationship with education. I read it for my gender and sexualities in literature class, so we talked a lot about how like eating disorders in men versus women are treated. That was an interesting topic, and I liked, you know, the class discussions around it. And I don't want to say I didn't like the book, because like I did, but it's just like it deals with heavier topics, and that's not always like, you know, what I want to read about. So neither of the school books have ratings. I don't rate school books. Honestly, mostly just because when I'm reading them, I'm not thinking about like, hey, do I like this book? I'm thinking about like, okay, what does this mean? You know? So, okay, I'm gonna clip this away very loosely. Now I get to talk about the books I read for fun. I'll start off with the books that I DNF'd. I just got a text. I have a group project, like presentation tomorrow, and people in the group chat are texting like, is our presentation done? I mean, I made a slide. Did you? There's literally no other slides in the presentation but mine, so I don't know, you tell me if it's finished. Anyway, the book that put me into a slump was Bride by Ellie Hazelwood, and it's nothing like against the book like itself. I just am not a romance reader. Like I genuinely do not enjoy romance books, but I still try every once in a while to force myself to like them. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that book anymore. I hated it. Then the last book I read for this month was Carl's Doomsday Scenario, which I really liked. I rated it 4.5 stars. It is the second book in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, which I feel like is everywhere right now. But yeah, I really liked this one. I liked it slightly less than the first book. It just kind of felt like, because we were only on one floor, and I felt like not much happened. I don't know. This side always gives me trouble. She may need a little extra help. Yeah, I don't know. We were only on one level of the dungeon, so it kind of felt like there wasn't a lot happening, and also, they found the staircase to the next level, like, right away. So, like, I don't know. I did like the quest aspect. I thought that was an interesting addition to this one. And the ending was kind of confusing, at least to me. I also finished this book at 4 a.m., so maybe I was just delirious. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, here's how it's looking wet. I'm gonna tie it up into an old t-shirt for maybe like half an hour, and then I'm gonna diffuse it, and then I'll come back with the final results and what my TBR for April will look like. Final result time. I'm gonna put a little oil in it. Yeah, it's the next morning. Ow. My nail caught on my earring. I separate them, but then they like all just form into one clump again together, so don't know why I bother. I have trouble getting volume in my hair. How does the back look? I don't care, it's not my business. And for TBR for April, definitely the third Dungeon Crawler Carl book. I think I'm gonna put A Longer Flesh by Christopher Triana and The Long Walk by Stephen King on my TBR too. I'm in a horror mood recently. I don't know, I haven't read it in a while. Like, see, what is this? What's going on here? I feel like it looks kind of weird. I don't think it was fully dry when I went to sleep last night. I think that's my problem. It could be worse. Yeah, I think doing stuff like this is more fun than just doing like a regular monthly wrap-up video. But I guess tell me if I'm wrong and you guys hate it because of how flat my roots always are. And like I've tried all the tricks. I've tried putting mousse in them. I've tried diffusing my hair upside down. It doesn't help. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more of me, don't forget to like and subscribe. You do kind of have to subscribe because we are best friends now. I don't make the rules, I'm sorry. But I think that's all I have for you. So, love you. Bye.